Do you know that your greatest weakness can become your greatest strength? Let me tell you how this happens by telling you this story. You see, Jesus had died, he had been buried, he resurrected from the grave, and then he ascended into heaven and he left his disciples behind on earth, right? So these people were asked to go and pray while they wait for the Comforter to come to them. And they went, they prayed, the Comforter came, the Holy Ghost came on the day of Pentecost. And after that, they began to preach the gospel. They began to talk about Jesus. They began to talk about the saving power of the Messiah. And the Jews got upset, especially the Pharisees and the Sadducees. They got upset and they started arresting them, beating them, warning them not to preach in that name and all that. And all those things were happening. And then they had a star player. His name was Saul. Saul was their star player. He was perfect when it comes to the laws. He was a Pharisee. He was the youngest Pharisee ever. He was perfect when it came to the laws, and he would do everything perfectly. So he hated the Christians. Anyone who said the law was abolished was his enemy. And he would go all out to defend the law of God, and he would kill anyone who stood in the way of the law of God. That was his assignment. He took it upon himself as his life assignment to make sure that no Christian lived or existed in the land of Israel. So, what was he doing? He was going from city to city, arresting them, putting them in prison, making sure those that were killed were killed. It was his job, it was his responsibility, and he was carrying it out with fervor. He was carrying it out with full determination, making sure he didn't leave anyone behind. The Jews, the Pharisees, the Sadducees, they were excited. The high priest was happy, like they've gotten a weapon, a star weapon, to make sure that this Jesus way thing does not go beyond them, that they exterminate everyone who had anything to do with Jesus. It became the greatest weakness of a church at the time and the greatest strength of their enemies. Do you know what God did? God converted their star player to his star player. God converted their strength to his strength. He took over the man named Saul, apostle, that did as much as Apostle Paul did in the scriptures. Even right now on earth, there was no apostle that did as much as Apostle Paul did in writing, in preaching the gospel, in going to jail, in being persecuted and everything. So what is this telling you? That greatest weakness you have, you can turn it to your greatest strength ever. What will it take? All it will take is you determining that this will not continue to be my weakness. What is the opposite of weakness? It is strength. So what is the opposite of that character you are exhibiting, or that desire you have that is your weakness? Turn it to strength. Like God turned their star player into his own star player, and the guy did so much damage. Same also, that weakness you turn to strength can bring you so much profit and progress. And that is the story of turning your weakness into your greatest strength. Do not ask your partner in your marriage to make do with your weaknesses when you can turn them to strengths, because your power is in the strength, not in the weakness. The strength is where you get results. The strength is where you make progress from, not from your weakness. So yes, whatever it is that is a weakness today, work on it, touch it up, turn it to a strength. It will do well for your marriage. It will bode well for your future and the progress you can make in life and everything that has to do with life. My name is Amamira Kolondonofit. I'm the convener of Sacred Unions and Desires, a channel on YouTube where we talk about marriage and everything that has to do with marriage. Believe me, this is a place to get information that would help you for life. Remember, knowledge is power, but the application of knowledge is superpower. So subscribe to our channel today and put on the bell notification so that you'll be notified whenever our videos come up, and you will be glad you did. Also, invite your friends, invite your family, those who are married, those who are not married. Everyone has something to learn at Sacred Unions and Desires. Stay blessed and have a wonderful week.